So when my family goes on vacation, I seem to develop a superpower or sixth sense of sorts. And at almost any given moment, I can tell you exactly where they're at. And most likely, I'll be able to tell you the food that's in their hands at that moment. And it's almost scary how much power I can harness when they're on vacation. So, okay, this may not actually be a superpower of mine, but I almost always know exactly where my family is at when they're on vacation, and that is because they travel to all the same places and do the same things almost every single time that they travel. Multiple times I've tried to convince my parents to go to different locations for a vacation or try new things or try new restaurants, but they really kind of get entrenched in their ways. They have a set a list of places that they like to go to, and that's what they stick with. Often, though, they'll do this because of the experiences that they've had previously. So, a great memory at a restaurant, or an awesome server, or a first time experiencing something. But often, as people travel, that same situation when you're there for a first time experiencing thing for the first time, you don't have that same emotional attachment to that moment. So often, not only does the vacation not seem as relaxing or as enjoyable, but it can even possibly seem disappointing if it's not as good as the last time. So I recommend that you take a vacation to a place that you've never traveled before. Often when you go to a new place, you're willing to try other new things. For example, in Montreal, you may not have the same common places that you may in Idaho Falls. For example, a Sizzler or a Red Lobster or Olive Garden. When you're in the streets of Montreal, you may not see all those same restaurants. So by already traveling to a new place, you're going to try new things, and you're going to continue to have those moments of being in a new environment and trying new things. It's interesting how if you ever take a car ride, as to a new place, the way there seems pretty long, and on the way back it seems a bit faster. Now, often this is because that first time, all of our senses are focusing on what's new and what's different, how we are not used to this environment. But that is one of the reasons that when we are traveling and we have these great experiences, you can't often mimic them again, because it's that first time experience that is so great that we often try to mimic in our other family vacations. I personally remember one time when my family saved up and we took a trip to Hawaii. And one of those first days, we sat on the beach and we drank pina coladas on these lounge chairs, and it was just perfect. It was heavenly. And I remember that night, the sun setting, and we're walking back to the hotel, and we said, let's do the exact same thing tomorrow. And I've been trying to rack my brain thinking about it, and I don't remember the next day. I remember the first day. And I know that if we would have had a new adventure, a new experience, I probably could have remembered that. But because we tried to relive that same moment, it didn't have the same weight as it does beforehand. So, So smartertravel.com talks about how you need to plan to have an unplanned day. So you can start off with just one day or one meal or one hotel stay, whatever the case may be. But take little steps that are attainable so that you can be able to experience a spontaneous trip. So on the topic of spontaneous trips, often millennials are more prone to spontaneous trips. And I think that that's probably just of this experience. Maybe it's my parents that caused this all. Probably not. But anyways, while other generations seem to be kind of set in their ways, this current generation of millennials seems to think otherwise. Now, one interesting statistic is that in the United States, 54% say that they've visited 10 states or fewer. And that's quite an interesting statistic, seeing that they're not all that far away. We can travel, especially here in the East. But I strongly recommend that when you can take a trip and you have a spontaneous vacation, you really can enjoy the little things rather than trying to experience the same things you felt before. You'll be able to have those first time moments and memories and be able to have experiences that will be worth more than they would if you were trying to repeat a vacation that was great one other time. Thank you.